10 Habits that Weaken Your Mind and Body. Stoicism Insights. Hello, dear friends. As we embark on our journey as seekers of wisdom, our goal is to fortify both our minds and bodies, enabling us to face life's challenges with bravery and integrity. However, if we allow self-defeating habits to take root, they can drain our vitality. The Stoics, who focused on living up to our highest potential, have much to teach us about the habits that can subtly undermine our strength. By being vigilant about these patterns, we can eliminate them before they hinder our personal growth. Just as our muscles require resistance to develop strength, our character also needs challenges to grow. Today, we will delve into 10 habits that can allow weakness to take hold, as identified by the ancient Stoics. By recognizing which of these habits may be diminishing your resilience, you can work to replace them with more empowering alternatives. Before we dive in, I invite newcomers to subscribe to our Stoic newsletter, where we regularly share practical wisdom for those on the path to self-mastery. Now, let's explore 10 common habits that might be compromising your strength. Identifying these early on allows us to redirect our energy toward more positive and enriching pursuits. The Stoics remind us that what we nurture is what grows. 1. Insufficient sleep. In our fast-paced, always connected world, there is often a tendency to sacrifice sleep for work, entertainment, or social media. However, health experts consistently stress that obtaining enough quality sleep is crucial for both physical and mental performance. When we consistently fail to achieve the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night, it gradually depletes our body and mind. Chronic sleep deprivation can lead to slower reaction times, difficulties with concentration, memory problems, diminished motivation and discipline, increased anxiety, and even physical weakness or tremors due to fatigue. Furthermore, researchers have linked long-term sleep deprivation to a heightened risk of various diseases. Beyond merely feeling tired, consistently skimping on sleep prevents our muscles from fully recovering and rebuilding after workouts. Hormones that regulate appetite and metabolism can become imbalanced without adequate rest, meaning those late nights spent staring at screens can sabotage our body composition goals. The Stoics recognized the importance of self-care long before modern science confirmed it. They taught that we should treat our bodies as the vehicles that carry us through life, caring for them with proper rest and renewal. Otherwise, we risk navigating each day in a mentally foggy and emotionally unstable state, rather than being fully energized and focused. Prioritizing sleep requires us to acknowledge our human needs instead of relentlessly pushing forward out of ego or a misguided sense of toughness. It involves confronting the anxieties that keep our minds racing at night and setting healthy boundaries around work, digital distractions, and social commitments to ensure we allocate sufficient time for restorative sleep. 2. Poor nutrition. We have all felt that sluggish, run-down sensation after indulging in too much fatty, sugary, or processed food. Yet, in our convenience-driven society, unhealthy options are constantly available, while nutritious whole foods often require more effort to obtain. Continuously consuming empty calories can gradually undermine our strength and resilience. When we lack essential micronutrients such as B vitamins, iron, magnesium, and antioxidants, our basic biochemical processes can suffer. Deficiencies and imbalances in these vital vitamins and minerals can drain our energy, weaken our immune function, and disrupt hormone levels. Even in the absence of serious medical conditions, ongoing poor nutrition leaves our bodies more susceptible to pathogens, inflammation, and general weakness. To make matters worse, junk food and refined carbohydrates are quickly converted to glucose, leading to spikes in insulin levels. The subsequent crash can result in fatigue, mood swings, and cravings for another quick fix. These fluctuations can strain the endocrine system and other regulatory functions over time, potentially leading to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or obesity. The Stoics emphasize the importance of moderation in all things. Cultivating a balanced life, avoiding common pitfalls for a stronger you. Maintaining strength and resilience throughout life's journey requires more than just good intentions. It demands a thoughtful approach to two often overlooked aspects of our daily lives, our dietary habits and physical activity levels, alongside mindful consumption of alcohol. 1. Nourishing body and mind through dietary discipline ****. While occasional treats pose little harm, chronic overindulgence in pleasures like fatty foods or alcohol can signify a lack of self-control. The old adage, "You are what you eat," holds truth, as our consumption patterns directly impact both bodily health and mental clarity. To build better nutrition habits, it's essential to develop heightened awareness of the triggers driving unhealthy eating habits. Normalize home-cooked meals using wholesome ingredients, reducing reliance on packaged and restaurant foods. Apply principles of moderation and temperance to consumption, ensuring it empowers rather than weakens us. Strengthening dietary discipline is key to protecting long-term vitality. 2. The consequences of skipping exercise ***. In today's frantic world, many of us feel time-pressed, often relegating workouts to an optional extra rather than a vital component of health and performance. However, regular physical activity is crucial for proper blood and nutrient circulation, biochemical processing, strengthening muscles and bones, regulating numerous physiological processes. Chronic avoidance of exercise leads to a gradual decline in endurance, mobility, and resilience. Sedentary living suppresses muscle protein synthesis, allowing lean muscle mass to deteriorate, which in turn slows metabolism, promotes weight gain, and hinders strength development. Furthermore, inactivity weakens bone density over time and disrupts hormonal balance, leading to increased vulnerability to fatigue, slow recovery, and eventually, disease. Stoic philosophers, such as Emperor Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of training both body and will to endure hardships and remain steadfast in the face of adversity. Regular exercise not only bolsters physical capacity but also mental fortitude, offering opportunities to practice discipline, determination, and perseverance. 3. The hidden dangers of excessive alcohol consumption ***. While happy hours, parties, and unwinding with a glass of wine can provide enjoyable social connections and stress relief, overindulgence in alcoholic beverages can have severe impacts on the following day's performance. Unlike moderate alcohol intake, which poses minimal risk, excessive consumption essentially exposes the body to toxin-like effects. Increased inflammation. Hindered nutrient absorption. Potential direct damage to organs like the liver. Dehydration, electrolyte loss, and bladder irritation with frequent heavy consumption. The morning after heavy drinking, most individuals experience hangover symptoms, fatigue, headache, vertigo, nausea, and mental fogginess, as the body struggles to eliminate contaminants. Prolonged heavy drinking episodes can also promote anxiety, disrupt sleep patterns due to neurological excitation, and further erode strength and willpower, driving cravings for unhealthy comfort foods or additional alcohol. Stoic philosophers condemned excessive drinking, warning of its debasing effects on human dignity and rationality, leaving individuals mentally weakened. By being mindful of our alcohol intake, we can preserve our faculties and respond more skillfully to life's challenges. Lack of discipline and impulsive behaviors fueled by alcohol consumption are common, but resisting the temptation to overindulge is crucial in a society that often promotes drinking for stress relief and social bonding. It's important to be vigilant about our motives and practice moderation to avoid the negative consequences of excessive drinking. Similarly, smoking, despite its stimulating and relaxing effects, poses significant health risks due to the multitude of harmful chemicals it introduces into the body. Over time, smoking can lead to serious lung and cardiovascular issues, impacting physical fitness and overall well-being. Chronic stress, a prevalent issue in modern life, can exhaust the body's stress response systems, leading to hormonal imbalances, fatigue, and impaired cognitive function. It's essential to manage stress effectively to prevent long-term health complications. By prioritizing self-discipline, making conscious efforts to break harmful habits, and adopting healthier lifestyle choices, individuals can reclaim control over their well-being and enjoy a more fulfilling life. And the Stoic thinkers sought relief from such strain by focusing only on control in thoughts and actions within their command rather than unfulfillable external yearnings. This allowed them to maintain composure and conserve energies for achieving meaningful goals. The teach tranquility emerges when we stop battering against the boundaries of fate. Number 7. Social isolation. Humans evolved as intensely social creatures relying on close communal bonds not just for emotional enrichment but very survival itself. Yet modern life often erodes intimacy through displacements, digital distraction, and unhealthy self-reliance that leaves us estranged from support networks we profoundly need. While occasional solitude proves restorative, chronic isolation triggers evolutionary alarm bells of separation from the tribe, setting off low-grade stress responses that compound over years. Cortisol, adrenaline, and inflammatory signals percolate at unhealthy levels, devoid of oxytocin and affectionate contact. The body remains too long in survival mode, immune defenses eventually growing muted and listless. Research clearly links loneliness to poorer cardiovascular health, shorter lifespans, and vulnerability to infections or cancer. But even before diseases emerge, those lacking emotional intimacy and vulnerable sharing often struggle upholding self-care routines. Social reinforcement helps motivate us. Adopting healthy lifestyle changes like losing weight, quitting smoking, or adhering to medical treatments without accountability partners or inspiration from others. Modeling small bad habits spiral into major deterioration, amplified by solitude. Seeking superficial status over deep communal bonds proves spiritually empty. Stoic philosophers held fast friendship as life's greatest blessing, providing strength through solidarity along with wisdom gained from allies' counsel. But true friends speak candid truth rather than mere flattery. The right company lifts us higher, while toxic relationships drag us into rumination and vice. We were made for accompaniment on this journey, not isolated travails in emotional deserts. Healing isolation requires courage, exposing insecurities and resentments that close vulnerable hearts. Yet bonds formed through mutual understanding help secure the inner fortress of identity, not reliant on external validation. From this place of wholeness, companionship multiplies blessings rather than clutches. Out of desperation, our people await nearby, we need but set aside pride, fear, and distraction to join them. Number 8. Avoiding discomfort. Life inevitably serves up temporary pains, inconveniences, and struggles, yet in modern times we train ourselves into avoidance and escape whenever possible to minimize discomfort. The verding of life's small challenges and physical exertions slowly erode fortitude, however, until minor setbacks can shake foundations. By always choosing easier or passive entertainment over recreation, demanding some grittiness, we sleepwalk into frailty. Bodies forget how to dig deep and push limits without regular training, spurring adaptation without tasting fatigue. We forget what it means to recover and grow stronger. Small exposures condition capacity, while too much ease conditions weakness in muscles and spirit alike. The Stoics embraced purposeful hardship as an austere but wise teacher. They sought not to numb themselves with constant comfort but to challenge limits with moderated exposures that expand ability to endure what appears easy. Struggle today forges resiliency against harder trials tomorrow. This hardening against destructive softness requires rejecting hypnotic trances of convenience but incorporating regular practices like cold showers, fasting periods, heart training, or silent meditation. We can recalibrate nervous systems overloaded with artificial smoothness. Confronting managed adversity offers opportunity to practice non-attachment from temporary pain while building emotional sturdiness, for it is not the adversity alone that breaks people but rather inability to hold steady within as struggles batter from without. Those grounded in their sense of self needed not brace against every passing turbulence but roots too rarely tested risk being torn free by storms. While some individuals retreat indoors to escape the biting winds and chilly weather, others embrace the elements, fostering a resilient growth that prepares them for even greater challenges. The path to progress often seems to lead us backward as frequently as it moves us forward. Achieving meaningful advancement requires us to accept a certain level of ruggedness instead of merely seeking comfort. One significant issue many face today is poor time management. The increasing demands of contemporary life clash with outdated workplace attitudes that prioritize relentless effort over sustainable productivity. When we are overwhelmed with responsibilities and fail to establish clear priorities and boundaries around our work, we find ourselves with little time left for adequate rest, nurturing relationships, or recovery. Days can blur into a chaotic rush, where we are constantly trying to catch up instead of calmly directing our hours toward what truly matters. When we overlook the necessity of built-in buffer periods for processing and assimilating information, we risk accumulating backlogs. This can lead to a decline in our creative energy, as we rarely move beyond the grind of daily tasks to tap into the generative flow states that are essential for innovation. Important processes, such as muscle repair and memory consolidation, often suffer when we are always in a hurry. Unstructured days can devolve into mindless scrolling through social media feeds, and as our willpower wanes, we may abandon healthy habits in favor of quick snacks on the go, rather than enjoying wholesome meals with family and friends. Financial pressures can also mount as we attempt to outsource basic maintenance tasks or satisfy cravings that arise from stress. The Stoics remind us that a well-ordered day can bring tranquility, even amidst external chaos. However, without taking control of our focus and plans, we allow outside demands to dictate our lives. It becomes crucial to learn how to differentiate between what is merely urgent and what is genuinely important. Restoring a sense of sanity in the face of overwhelming demands requires us to set boundaries that align with our core values, rather than succumbing to external pressures. Rigid schedules are less important than consciously balancing our efforts between intense focus and gentle reflection, as well as between work and rest. Resentment towards time deficits only exacerbates our feelings of depletion. By concentrating on the next right step, we can move forward steadily instead of racing anxiously. Discipline regarding downtime is vital. It helps preserve our passion and presence, whether we are working or enjoying leisure activities. There is always sufficient time for what truly matters. The choice of where to allocate that time is ours to make. If you have listened to this message until the end, I appreciate your attention. If any of these Stoic lessons resonated with you today, I encourage you to engage in a discussion about Stoicism in the comments section. I welcome such conversations, as they align with the teachings of great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. If you found this video enjoyable, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more content like this, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you discover peace and serenity through the principles of Stoicism.